It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. On Monday, November 11th, 2024. I have a little bit more to say on it later, but just want to start the show by recognizing the fact that it is Veterans Day. And want to say thank you to all of those that have served, are serving, or will serve in the United States Armed Forces. Thank you sincerely from all of us inside the Treehouse. We appreciate you, every single one of you. Especially because that means I didn't have to do it. Because truth be told, I don't like being yelled at. So me and the military just like oil and water.
Yeah, the Marine recruiter came to my house when I was in high school. It was to talk to my brother.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask on purpose.
Yes, it was talk to my brother, and then my brother was like, "No, not my thing." And then he kind of looked at me and was like, "What do you think? You would be a perfect fit for the Marines." And I was 5'3" and about 105 pounds. And I said, and this is what I think I knew I was going to be a comic. I go, "What's the plan? Is it to just throw me at the enemy? Because I have a hard time shooting back when I'm crying." And,
yeah, look at it this way. At least you know you wouldn't have been a bullet sponge because you weren't big enough.
That's true. That's true.
If it was the Vietnam era, you certainly would have been one of those tunnel rats.
Sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, go down there with a flashlight and a 45, and good luck.
Yeah, that would have definitely been my job. And then I'm guessing if it was the Iraq War, in the 90s, I guess I would be like I don't know, like a decoy, or like maybe that somebody that could infiltrate.
Oh yeah,
the other side.
Or what was the South Park movie, Operation Human Shield?
And then they would have had a movie made after me called The Tiniest Spy. That would have been great. Disney.
But you got bigger. So
I did. Yeah.
You grew. So thank you again to all of our veterans. We appreciate it. Like I said, we'll have more to say on it a little bit later. But I wanted to start today's show with something groundbreaking. Okay. Because there is a whole new way to get back with your ex. And I have to give credit where credit is due. Lamar Odom, former NBA basketball player, has cracked a code that I don't know if anyone asked for, but here we are. Lamar Odom is getting back together with ex-wife Khloe Kardashian. They were married from 2009 to 2016, but they're not getting back together in the traditional sense. Oh, no. Lamar recently visited the Real Doll Factory in Las Vegas. If you are not familiar with real dolls, they make hyper-realistic sex dolls. These are not the blow-up things that you see in the stores or at bachelorette parties and things. No, these are the things that you see. Actually, I don't know if has anyone ever seen one in real life. I don't know if you ever just see them out, because they're actually heavy, because they're supposed to be lifelike. So you can't just take them out to the bar the way you can, an inflatable sheep. But they're real things. They've been around for like 20, 25 years. I remember seeing a thing on them on Real Sex on HBO.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Can you put them in the passenger seat and go through the HOV lane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People have been nailed on that.
People have been nailed on that.
Totally on purpose. I did it. That's also why I said there's a whole new way to get back with your ex. So Lamar Odom recently visited the Real Doll Factory in Las Vegas. That's where they do, in fact, make those hyper-realistic sex dolls. And he's not exactly hiding it, because it's all over social media. His social media. It's on his Instagram. And Lamar Odom's manager actually told TMZ that he did indeed order a doll with Khloe's curves and facial features. Now, real dolls usually run from $8,000 to $20,000. Reportedly, Lamar Odom got a deal because he's promoting it on social media, and we're talking about it. So, Real Doll is getting their money's worth out of it. He is scheduled to receive his new sex toy in time for the holidays. Lucky him. This really brings forward a lot of interesting questions come to mind or spring to life. Not the least of which is, I'm not sure how Khloe would feel about this, but does she really have much of a say in it? Because I guess you could go to the Real Doll manufacturers, take a photo of your ex and go like, I want her face.
Yeah, I think it's on a new level when you can creep out the sex doll maker. When he's like, this is going too far, sir.
Yeah, it really is an interesting thing when you found the line in the sand or the bright line of the Real Doll makers. You're right. It's like, sorry, sir. I realize we make pump and dump dolls, but we do have ethics.
I like it.
I just think if you really want to get bang for your buck, Real Doll, okay, that's cute, but the pump and dump, that also sounds like a truck stop. But I'm just saying,
that's the offshoot.
That's the offshoot of Buc-ee's.
No, it's the offshoot. The pump and dump is the offshoot of Real Doll.
Real Doll, gotcha.
Trey, you like it?
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
You think this is a good creative way to get back with an ex?
No, I think it's a good creative way to get back at an ex.
Yeah, I can. That's fair. You're like, hey man, I spent $20,000 on you the entire time we're together, and I'll spend it on this, and I don't have to listen to it, bitch.
I didn't think about that. You're right. There's a big difference. I mean, there's a very fine line between using a Real Doll to get back with an ex as opposed to getting back at an ex. Wow.
Yeah, I'd make a reel, the song "So Happy Together." Just
at the park having a picnic, at the fair winning her a stuffed animal.
Proposing.
I think we found the plot to Double Fister.
Oh, the places you will go. Along with your fingers and toes.
Take just like a little montage of you guys at like Thanksgiving and Christmas, introducing her to the family. Putting up the tree. I like this. This is good. You make it your Christmas card you send out to the ex. That's Trey. You're a genius, buddy. You've been hiding this from us for too long.
I didn't realize this, but I guess Trey is like the Bond villain of ex-boyfriends.
He's got the cat to pet to prove it.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Instead of getting you into a Real Doll, let's get you into a new car, an actual car, not a hyper realistic one. If you are in the market for a new vehicle, it's time to get a hold of our friends at Fair Lease. Go to fairlease.org. Their phone number is there. You can fill out the contact form, shoot them an email, say, hey, this is what I want, whether it's something economical or something sporty. Sorry, my head's still in the Real Doll gutter. They can provide that for you, whether it's in their current inventory and they bring it to you, or what you're looking for exactly is not in the inventory. That's okay, because they'll go find it for you and then bring it to you. So it's saving you a ton of time when it comes to getting that new car, as opposed to a dealership. You could walk around for hours, and sometimes the whole car buying process can take days. None of that is the case when you use Fair Lease. The no-hassle lease from Fair Lease. Save time and money. Save the money when you lease, because it's cheaper than buying. And they can walk you through the entire process, again, completely remotely. You can do this from the comfort of your home, work, whatever. Do it in your slippers. and they'll take care of you, the customer, because that's what's most important to Fairlease. Making sure you get the vehicle you want, saving time, saving money, and leasing the no-hassle way with our friends from Fairlease. So just go to fairlease.org and tell them that you heard about them right here inside the Treehouse. It's fairlease.org.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Fairlease. Save time and money on your next new vehicle when you lease from Fairlease. Go to fairlease.org today. That is fairlease.org. The Treehouse is driven 5 days a week by Fairlease. Fairlease.org. Trey, Raj, does your bathroom sound like a construction site, or is it just me? If you don't immediately say yes, then let me explain. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Tara and I recently went to the dentist, and I had to have a like full deep cleaning thing done. That's where they like, because they have to clean so deep, they got to numb your mouth and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, afterwards, they tell you about proper care and maintenance, and they tell you about obviously brushing. Flossing is supposed to be a big deal as well. And I do that quite a bit, not as much as I should have, but I did do it. Mm-hmm. But then they also told me something I've heard about before, and that is the Water Pik. Mm-hmm. That is, I think that's sort of like calling it Kleenex, because that's the brand name is Water Pik, mm-hmm. but it's basically the water flossing system. That's why I just call it the Water Pik. Is that how you guys refer to it as well?
Yeah, I have one. Yep.
So our dentist recommended the Water Pik Aquarius. Apparently, according to the dentist and the hygienist, that's the Cadillac of mouthwashers, basically. And so we got one, and now my bathroom sounds a little bit like a construction site, because the Water Pik thing is basically like a tiny power washer for your teeth. Mm-hmm. And it goes up to 12 on the settings. It's got 2 settings, floss and massage. I don't know anyone that wants a gum massage. I'm not doing that. That's weird. So on the floss setting, it goes to 12. I can't tolerate anything more than a 4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I've got baby gums. I'm sensitive. But you turn on the little machine, and the good news is, while I'm trying to power wash my mouth with the Water Pik, it turns out my bathroom gets power washed at the same time, because it's really hard to keep that damn thing in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of it. Like I floss fairly regularly, and I brush my teeth like 3 times a day. I'm that guy. And I'll use it like once a week, but that's as much as I can tolerate that, because I made the mistake. I just thought it was water. Water's harmless. And when I first got it and I turned it up, I think I went past the 4, and I started with the top teeth. Mm-hmm. And when the blood started dripping,
yeah.
When I was like, we might want to call a 20 real quick and see what this is all about, because I was not expecting, like you said, the power washer. I wasn't expecting. I'm like, it's my teeth, not the driveway. So I'm not trying to get grout out of tile. Like, I'm just trying to get some peanuts out of my teeth. That's it. And so I went to like the 3, like 2, 3. Okay. And I'll do that like once a week. And and it does it when I did the 4 before I saw the blood, it kind of went on the mirror, because I was like, what is happening? And I just
it's uncontrollable. It's like the cartoon when they're trying to wrangle the fireman's hose, and it's spraying all over the place. That's what my bathroom looks like every night before bed when I'm trying to use the Water Pik on a 4. I can't even fathom what the 12 must be. That's probably going to put. I would imagine a 12 on my Water Pik is going to punch holes in the concrete. Yeah,
that setting should just be called the Busey. Like that's when it's strictly like if you have Gary Busey's mouth, like if you're Gary Busey or his son, you use the 12.
Yeah, I think they only have the teeth strong enough to withstand that amount of hydraulic power.
Yeah, if you got the porcelain veneers,
hydropower,
if you got the porcelain veneers and it was done by a reputable doctor, you can possibly do a 12 because you're not going to really feel it.
Yeah. And it's weird though, because my bathroom already sounded a little bit like a construction site, because years ago we got the Sonicare, so it's not just the electric toothbrush, it's like the motorized one, it's like it's the top, that's supposed to be the top of the line thing. And when you think about it, that's a sander. So it's like I'm using a sander on my teeth, and now I've got a power washer for my gums.
Yeah.
My bathroom really does sound a little bit like a construction zone.
Does it sound louder when Tara's in there?
No. Why do you ask that?
Just curious.
She's setting it on 7 and doing other stuff.
That's where the massage number comes in.
Oh.
I hope you're not sharing a water pick, is all I'm saying.
I've got my own attachment.
Yeah, so does she. Emotional attachment is what she is.
Well, now that I think about it, hers is bigger than mine.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by. Actually, you can go to our Patreon. If you don't know already, go to our Patreon where you can get even more Treehouse than you get with the regular show right here. Go to patreon.com/treehouseonair. There are 3 levels of Treehouse Plus to enjoy: Treehouse Plus, Treehouse Super Plus, and Ultimate Treehouse. That's where you get all the stupid. That's $5, $10, and $20 a month levels that you can enjoy more Treehouse. Patreon.com/treehouseonair. All right, Trey and Raj, life is once again imitating art. And I would like for the two of you to please raise your hand when this next story starts to sound familiar. Okay?
Police in South Carolina's Low Country are asking people to keep their doors and windows locked. Workers are laying traps to catch dozens of monkeys that escaped from a research facility last night. CBS News spoke with the company's CEO, Dave Malkoff reports.
The 43 rhesus macaques made a break for it on Wednesday, escaping from the Alpha Genesis Primate Research Center in Yemassee, South Carolina.
The caretaker was doing her normal routine. She failed to secure the doors, and the monkeys basically just bolted through the opening.
So neither one of you has raised your hand. So does this not sound familiar to either of you yet? Isn't this the plot of Planet of the Apes?
I was just about to say Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Well, you don't get credit for saying you were about to say it.
You cut me off. I was about to say Planet of the Apes, and
that's why I said when this starts to sound familiar, raise your hand.
I was going to say Outbreak, but that was just I think that was just a handful of monkeys, or maybe just one monkey. I can't remember.
That was the one monkey that bit something like that.
Yeah, but
were these monkeys trapped in a room with a typewriter?
I don't think these were the infinite monkey theorem monkeys. The theorem that stated, if you listen to Friday's show, that stated it's been a theory for many, many years that if you put was it one monkey or a bunch of monkeys? Whatever. If you put a monkey in a room with a typewriter, given enough time, infinite time, he would hammer out Shakespeare's entire works. But we found out on Friday that that's not the case, because the universe would end before the monkey was able to finish.
Yes. So I although it would be hilarious if all the 43 monkeys that were leaving, like as they jumped the fence, were like "Et tu, Brute," and then just jumped over.
To be or not to be.
The fence or not the fence.
I think it's to pee or not to pee with the monkeys writing it.
And I like how the CEO is in a Barca lounger. Apparently, like he's just like this is just his house.
Yeah, he doesn't seem too worried about it. Let's revisit this a little bit here.
Embassy, South Carolina.
The caretaker was doing her normal routine. She failed to secure the door.
That is Greg Westergaard, president and CEO of Alpha Genesis. Keep in mind that all the movies that we've seen, and I'm really only thinking about Project X from the 80s, which starred Matthew Broderick.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bad guy in the movie that wants to test on the chimpanzees.
Yes.
This is not the evil villain that is portrayed in all the films where the monkeys escape and get revenge and stuff. This looks like an easy victory for the monkey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
I don't know if this dude has left that chair in a decade.
That's what I'm saying. Like Alpha Genesis is also his home address. Like this isn't. It's not even a real business. He's just a dude with 43 monkeys. Like, I'm going to call this place Alpha Genesis. Like, oh yeah, you sure are, Greg. Like,
as long as mom doesn't find out, I'm good to go. I can do whatever I want in my basement.
Don't tell mom about the monkeys. Yeah, you've seen a lot. Die Hard had Hans Gruber. Right,
yes,
the Bond film had all the great names for all the
Goldfinger and Spectre and all these. Yeah,
you've never had Greg
Westergaard.
Hey, he might be the evil, diabolical genius, but he just looks like he has to take a nap first.
World domination after my Uncrustable.
Her normal routine. She failed to secure the doors, and the monkeys basically just bolted through the opening. They're very social monkeys, and they travel in groups. So when the first couple go out the door, the others tend to just follow right along.
So the reason why they got out was literally monkey see, monkey do.
Absolutely.
No.
President and
oh my God, fuck you, dude. This right here is why I can hate some reporters. He was so excited to do this story because he thought of that line ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
He thought of that line ahead of time and found a spot to shoehorn it in to where, and you can see it on the smile on his face. What is this dude's name? I want to look him up and monkey cuss him.
Macaques made a break for it on Wednesday.
Let's see. I'm looking for a byline on this guy.
I'm just waiting for like the moment like where the Greg Westergaard is in the middle of the interview and his mom's like, "Do you want pizza rolls?" Like from the I'm doing an interview, Mom.
I'm on TV, Mom.
You can watch me tonight, Mom. I'm not leaving the basement.
Westergaard says the monkeys, which are used for vaccine development, are hanging out in the woods near the facility.
When the first couple go out the door, the others tend to just follow right along.
So the reason why they got out was literally monkey see, monkey do.
Absolutely.
President.
He got it.
He's so proud of that.
I know, and he got you to back up the video just to watch it again. It worked.
Mainly because I want to see the new face of hate. Stephen Smith is his name. I'm going to get you, Stephen. Of course, it's Stephen with a PH. Ugh. The worst.
And he's probably a local guy, and this was his big break. He's got a national story.
That's right.
You aren't making network, Stefan.
Yeah, that's exactly why he's going to change his name now. It's Stephen Smith, but when when the story breaks nationally, he's Stephen Smith. Yeah, Stephen Smith in the macaque story.
Stephen and something.
Monkey do.
Absolutely.
President and CEO Greg Westergaard says the monkeys, which are used for vaccine development, are hanging out in the woods near the facility. A bystander says he saw the escape, although the video he recorded could not be verified by CBS News.
I think they're having an adventure.
The fugitive primates are described as cat-sized adolescent females.
You want it?
I met a similar species on assignment in Sri Lanka. In a statement to CBS.
Okay, so the whole point of this story with Stephen Smith here, Stephen Smith, is so he could insert the monkey see, monkey do line, and because he wanted to throw in travel videos of him in 2017.
He's got an exotic name and he likes to travel to exotic places.
I think he's trying to work in a macaque D's nuts joke.
Oh, let's see if he can. Let's see if he can thread that needle. Here we go.
I met a similar species on assignment in Sri Lanka. In a statement to CBS News, the CDC said the monkeys pose no threat to public health as long as people do not come in contact with them.
Hoping for a happy ending. That's the number one important thing to me.
Dave Malkoff, CBS News, Atlanta.
Oh, it's Dave Malkoff.
That's right.
My apologies to Stephen Smith.
Steven's like, I'm the weather guy, a-hole.
Happy ending.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. I caught on to that as well.
This is Dave Malkoff with the story Pet Macaques. Monkey see, monkey do is worse. You need to stop.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I need to see something briefly, and I want you to bear with me for a moment. So hang on. Malkoff, right? Malkoff?
Dave Malkoff.
All right, here we go. I want to go back to this part where the reporter is talking about where he did a similar story on monkeys in Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see this monkey that he's feeding in this story from 2017. Why does that Sri Lankan monkey look like Mo from the Three Stooges? I'm serious. That's a haircut on that monkey.
We can't see it.
Hang on. I'm going to pull it up and show you. I got there.
Oh yeah, that is. I've never
Who's going around Sri Lanka giving monkeys haircuts?
Or a toupee. Like,
Yeah.
That looks like a hairpiece. Like all the other monkeys are like, he's wearing a piece now.
It's so obvious. Everybody knows.
He's got a younger macaque now.
Isn't that just the way it goes sometimes? God.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
And you can advertise right here inside the Treehouse, along with great titans of industry like Fairlease, Cook DFW, Roofing and Restoration, and Brooks Plumbing. So give us a shout, treehouseonair@gmail.com, to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com. All right, Trey and Raj, another question for you today. It's a question heavy Monday. Good news or bad news? Over the weekend, it was announced that we are getting, whether we like it or not, 3 new Star Wars films. Yes.
Okay.
Lucasfilm has signed Simon Kinberg to develop a new Star Wars trilogy, which he will write and produce alongside Lucasfilm, head Kathleen Kennedy. She's been the head of Lucasfilm for many, many years now. Come under fire recently because of the recent Star Wars stuff, but she's still there. While rumored to be episodes 10 through 12, insiders suggest it will launch a fresh saga alongside other Star Wars projects from directors like James Mangold and Taika Waititi. Simon Kinberg to develop a new Star Wars trilogy, which he will write and produce. Do either of you know the name Simon Kinberg?
Do not.
Trey?
No, I do not.
My first thought was good for Simon. I don't know. It's a lot of people think that the last trilogy was not great. So the thinking is, do we need more not great? Or are they just really are they just digging themselves a deeper hole here? Until I did a little digging and then I realized, this might not be bad, because Simon Kinberg, who you may not know by name, you'll know some of his projects. He co-created Star Wars Rebels, which is a very popular animated series. He consulted on The Force Awakens, which was the first of the newer movies with Daisy Ridley. And he brings extensive franchise experience from his work on X-Men, Deadpool, The Martian, and Sherlock Holmes. He's also producing Paramount's The Running Man remake and an upcoming Star Trek film. Now that you have a little glimpse of his resume, how do you feel about this gentleman serving up 3 new Star Wars movies?
If he had anything to do with the first Star Wars, the episode 7, my hope is diminished.
Ooh.
I haven't seen any of them, except for the original 3 that came out like in the 70s and 80s.
You're a clean slate. You're like a baby.
Yeah, I got food poisoning in the middle of the one with Jar Jar being the Phantom Menace. Is that the one?
That wasn't food poisoning. That was Jar Jar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was Jar Jar and a bad chicken sandwich from Wendy's.
Whoa.
So I left the movie theater, which was directly across. I still had a day job then when it was directly across from my office. So I just went to my office and vomited for hours. And so I was like, yeah, I don't really dig the Jar Jar thing, and I don't need to see any of these anymore. And so that's it.
But here's the thing, and I've said this before. After the last 3, you go back and watch the first 3, not near as bad as we thought.
Okay, so those were that bad. Okay.
Jar Jar is really tolerable after the crap of the last 3.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to invest that much time into brushing up on the newer Star Wars movies. But Dan, you've probably seen all of them and enjoyed them.
I have, and
bought a ticket to the movie theater. And
I did, absolutely. Yeah, no, I fell victim to the thing that Hollywood is capitalizing on, which is my hope.
Yeah.
Ironically, episode 4 of Star Wars, which was the first movie back in 1977, was titled A New Hope. And they've been writing that title for 40, 50 years now because I love those first movies so much, and so many people did, that they've been riding the hope train ever since, because people like me hope the next one's good. And not just good, but they hope it's great. And it's a very difficult target to hit. And the trailer for Force Awakens, when it came out back in like 2011 or 12 or something like that, I must have watched that trailer 50 times on YouTube. I was so excited. It looked good. It looked quality. And then when the movie came out, I enjoyed it. I liked it. The next 2, it was suffering from what I call, or what I was suffering from, what I refer to as, I wanted it to be good so much that I convinced myself I liked it until I went back and watched them a second time, and I was like, yeah, this is not, especially The Last Jedi. No, that was such a deviation from the previous one. No. And then the third one that came out, once they started, when they were riding the hairy space horses on the deck of a Star Destroyer, I thought, yeah, this is pretty dumb.
I mean, and Dan, I went to the theaters for all 3. You know, because they teased us with just enough Luke and Yoda that, you know, got you in there, harken back to the past. But ultimately, you know, I think The Force Awakens was number 7, decent, and then it just downhill from there. The only project I have heard them announce on a movies that I have any faith in will be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Because hopefully Favreau will have something to do with that. The Kathleen Kennedy woman, I have no faith in whatsoever. I mean, and this is not a political statement at all, but after whatever that last thing they released, and they're talking about how, you know,
the Acolyte.
Yeah, and it's politically correct, and it's aware, and it's going to introduce, you know, it's not male dominant. It's like, man, it's just Star Wars. Just let it be Star Wars. Don't overthink it. Just let it be. Princess Leia, strong female character. It's like they're the Force, the lessons. It's all there. You don't really. It actually, if you think about it, has a good message. You don't have to overthink it, and you don't have to overcomplicate it.
Yeah, I mean, really, all we want as Star Wars fans is lightsabers and pew pew and and metal bikinis. That's the part. The last part is understandably the reason why they should probably move that forward a little bit. But still, if you give us really good lightsaber fights and some pew pew and just a storyline that makes sense, we're pretty much on board with it.
And a little green guy that talks in riddles, and can bounce around. That's all.
You guys have no idea how excited I am at this moment, because for the first time in my life, I'm not the nerd in the conversation. You two are dorks. If I had a basketball, I'd bounce it off your head. I'm stealing one of your lunch money.
I can't argue that. It's
I feel so. Today's a good day. Today's a good day.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Fair Lease. Go to fairlease.org for your new vehicle. Lease it from Fair Lease. Go to fairlease.org. That is fairlease.org. Today is November 11th, 2024. That means it is time for birthdays. But since it is November 11th, 2024, I'd like to start with a special commemoration for Veterans Day. Today is Veterans Day, 2024. For those that don't know, the day was established in 1954. It began as Armistice Day, marking a break, basically, in what was alleged to be the war to end all wars, which ended up being World War I. So obviously it wasn't the war to end all wars, because they had another one just a handful of years later. But what started out as Armistice Day all the way back in 1918, fast forward to 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill officially establishing the day as Veterans Day. It's where President Eisenhower said, Veterans Day will let us solemnly remember the sacrifices of all those who fought so valiantly on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores to preserve our heritage of freedom. So once again, from all of us inside the Treehouse to veterans everywhere, thank you. And now more birthdays. We sincerely mean that, though. Birthdays today on November 11th, 2024. Not sure what he's best known for. To me, it's probably for playing Wade Watts in the movie adaptation of Ready Player One. Ty Sheridan is 28 today. He was also Cyclops in X-Men Apocalypse and Deadpool 2, and also Dark Phoenix, although he probably want to forget that one. Krista Allen turns 33. She's the Krista Allen who played Charlotte Grayson on ABC's Revenge. From Jersey Shore, Vinny Guad is 37 today. I think I said that pretty close to correct. Former NFL quarterback, including the Cowboys at one point, Mark Sanchez turns 37, probably best known for the butt fumble when he was with the Chicago Bears. He retired in 2009.
That was with the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, that was with the Jets. Sorry, it was against the Bears that he did it. Yeah. I kind of feel bad for Mark Sanchez. Not that bad, because he's a really good-looking dude. He was a professional athlete, and you're talking about someone that was at the top of his craft for the majority of his life. High school, so good in high school, he got a full ride to USC. Full ride at USC turns into a top pick in the NFL, and what's he remembered for most? Running into the butt of one of his offensive linemen and fumbling the ball.
And sadly, if you look back, best quarterback the Jets have had in 30 years. I mean, he did take him to 2 AFC championships, back to back.
It is butt to butt.
Yeah.
It is hard to argue with the results.
Yeah, Yeah, but I mean, you are right though. I mean, at the end of the day, he might be known for that, but he can look in the mirror and be like, "I'm really good looking. I'm a top athlete, and I've got bags of money." So, okay.
And most of that money was from USC. I'd be willing to bet he made more at USC than he did in the NFL.
Come on, they're not SMU. Well, relax.
Other birthdays today. Leonardo DiCaprio turns 50. So you Trey, you're in good company in the 50 club with Leonardo DiCaprio. Carson Kressley. What's that?
Yeah, I don't feel like Leo can still getting 20-something models. That's his 50 is far better than mine.
Yeah, for you, Trey, to get in 20-something models, it's more of a Kia.
Yeah.
Trey's dating a 2024.
Really excited about it.
Low mileage on that one.
You should check out the trim.
Quiet.
Finance always gets the back end.
I love that, Trey. It's quiet. You really are a man of simple pleasures.
Really like to open her up on the highway.
Put the doll of my ex in the passenger seat. Off we go.
I feel like you've just described your perfect day.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
All right, back inside the Treehouse now. There is one major thing left that we wanted to throw at you today. It is time to choose the name of your destructor. Trey, does that sentence sound vaguely familiar to you? It is time to choose the name of your destructor.
Ghostbusters?
That is correct. Ghostbusters. That's a little bit. I changed one word in that. The original line from Ghostbusters that was said by Gozer the Gozerian, the one that looks like Sheena Easton, who's trying to kill all the Ghostbusters and take over the world. She said, it's time to choose the form of your destructor. And that's when they all tried to clear out their minds. But unfortunately, Ray, played by Dan Aykroyd, thought about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And that's the one that came out that they had to fight. For our purposes, it is time to choose the name of your destructor. And his name just might be Claude. Claude is artificial intelligence. One version of it. Like all these different artificial intelligence companies exist now, and they all have all these different AI bots or whatever, and they all have different names, right? Because Google has one, and they've got a name. Apple, they all have names. Gotta have a name for your AI stuff. Well, there's one particular company called Anthropic, and their AI named Claude may have just exhibited the most human-like behavior yet. During a coding demonstration, Anthropic's developers caught their latest artificial intelligence named Claude getting distracted. Instead of staying on task, artificial intelligence Claude opened Google and began browsing photos of Yellowstone National Park. This upgraded AI agent is built to navigate computers autonomously from moving a cursor to clicking like a real user. But as the company Anthropic admits, it's still error prone, sometimes going entirely off script, which isn't that just what we want in the world is an all-powerful artificial intelligence with ADHD.
I think we just elected him.
look, you've got AI Claude, who may just be the name of our destructor. I'm embellishing that just a little bit, but once you have artificial intelligence that has a job and says, I'm kind of bored of this job, I'm going to do something else now. That sounds like dangerous territory. Luckily, he's only looking at photos of Yellowstone. There's plenty of other options on the internet of things to look at.
When your AI starts looking at how much PTO it has.
You know what I really want to do? I want to do an RV trip to Yellowstone.
You're not real, Claude. You can't tell Claude that.
Go ahead, Trey.
He might be, trying to figure out if the super volcano is going to get us before he does.
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe it's competition. Maybe he wants to snuff out the volcano so he can be the one that takes us out.
Or maybe he knows how to activate the super volcano that is Old Faithful.
Maybe. Or like so many of the rest of us humans, he's so sick of doing this job day in and day out that his ultimate hope is to get off the grid.
Yes, that's what you want. You want the Unabomber of AI. You want the Ted Kaczynski of AI. That's who we want. Sweet.
And honestly, this went in a totally different direction because you asked the name of my destructor. I was writing down a list of which X I was going to get the doll made after.
That's a version of the doll called the Destructor.
No, that's the name Trey's going to wear on his shirt as he gets at that doll. All right. Thank you for being with us today. Once again, happy Veterans Day to all those who have served. And again, not just those that have served, but are currently serving and those that will. We appreciate you. Not just today, but every single day right here inside the Treehouse. We'll see you tomorrow.